pair of tickets to Talladega, right here from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, sunshine and 67. Clear skies tonight, slightly colder at 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 73. About the same at 70 Friday, and we'll have mostly clouds in the early morning and then very heavy rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. David, you want to give a quick little shout out to somebody that just came by and visited the studio?
Yeah, absolutely. We just got some Hedgehog cheeseburgers brought to us by Ryan and Brooke, and I really appreciate that. Appreciate them listening. They also brought us in some cards as well, so appreciate that, man. Ryan and Brooke are great. They're always listening to us and also to the Mosley football games, which is a lot of fun because he texts in a lot during those football games. So I really appreciate you, Ryan and Brooke, and we all do around here.
The question is, did you get the hedgehog reference?
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
There you go. Good. That was my biggest question. Yeah. But we are joined on the line by Keith Fleming, and he's about to dive into a little more trends here with the Copperhead course down there at Innisbrook for the Valspar Championship, and then get on to who his official lineup is, as he's certainly been doing off to another great start this year.
Yeah, last week, the official DK lineup, if you were listening to me and doing cash games, which I continue to stress this, it's double ups and single entries where you have one lineup versus everybody else in the field with one lineup. 472.5 points despite one of our players missing the cut. That would have cashed again in just about any contest that you're in, or doubled up in a double up. In large part, thank you, Scotty Scheffler. We talked last week that when he's in the field in cash games, like we said in football, if you listened all year, it's death, taxes, and playing CMC and cash. It is officially now to the point where it's death, taxes, and playing Scotty Scheffler in cash games for DFS Golf. Those are the three constants in life. But this week we get a little bit of a break because Scotty Scheffler is not in the field, which I'm sure there's a lot of guys on tour excited to see that. He is not the only big-time player that is not in the field, but still a lot of good names in it. And I think it's a real gambling opportunity. Even though some of the odds seem messed up, I know it's tough to see like Sam Burns at 12-1 to win. That's probably fair odds, considering like what Rory is in most, elite fields where he's 10-1. And I mean, come on, it's the same type deal. This Copperhead course, which you mentioned at Innisbrook, is, I think, one of the more underrated courses on the PGA Tour. It truly tests every facet of a player's game because it's got a lot of dog legs with narrow tree-lined fairways, very difficult terrain, firm conditions, super fast greens. Those tight dog legs off the tee and the water danger on 6 holes combined with 4 inches of rough. And I believe it's 74 bunkers that come into play on a lot of tee shots and approaches. It kind of negates the advantage of hitting driver and having elite distance. You can hit driver, but it's like with most courses, the further you move it out there, the less room you kind of have to not get in trouble.
So fair to say, Keith, on this one, that this is a little different than some of the other ones you've talked about this year where, yes, there's long rough and all that, but you still bomb it down there and just try to hit as short a shot as you can.
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
No, you're good.
I didn't hear the end of it, but I'm assuming you said it was different than some of the other courses we've had.
Yeah, like Riviera, you mentioned, you just want to hit it down there as far as you can, and, because guys can hit such good short shots out of rough. Innisbrook Copperhead course a little different because you run out of real estate so much is kind of what you're saying.
Correct. I mean, the big strokes or the stats you're looking at this is, despite this course only playing 7,300 yards, which I know it's a long way, but for PGA pros it is not. These guys have 70% of their approaches into the green from 175 or further, which is significantly higher than most courses. This also has a very unique layout. It has 5 par 5s and 5 par 3s, despite being a par 71 course. And then the final 3 holes, known as the Snake Pit, it's not as infamous as the Bear Trap at PGA National, but I think it's every bit as difficult. It features 2 extremely difficult par 4s, sandwiched with like a 220-yard par 3, everybody's favorite distance for a par 3. But again, 70% of the shots come from 175 or further into green. So you want to look for players that are elite on approach, and specifically on approach from 175 plus yards. You're going to look at guys who are good long iron players. The average winning score over the past decade has been pretty significantly over double digits under par, but that changed last year, and the course is going to play the same way this year. We're looking again, like last week at the Players' Championship, ball strikers, guys that play difficult courses well, and it's a smart strategy when filling out your DFS lineups or betting cards. If you have access to those kind of data metrics, you need to check those out. The course history, again, lean into 2022 because the rough is much further and it comes more into play. The strokes that I'm looking at, I really looked in for stats, players who excel from out of the rough. At roughly about 57% of tee shots at this venue find the fairway. That is lower than a lot of courses on tour. So guys are going to be hitting from, again, 3 to 4 inch rough. So you want players who excel from the rough, especially from that 175 yards and further. Strokes gained approach just in general is a good stat. I'm not looking at raw distance, but good drive percentage is what I'm looking at. Obviously, you need guys to excel on par 5s because there's 5 of them, and that's arguably the 5 easiest holes on the golf course. Scrambling is really big. Like any difficult golf course, you want to look at bogey avoidance. And then I looked at strokes gained total on difficult scoring courses and strokes gained total on the Florida swing courses because, this is the 4th and final week of this 4-week swing. Guys just tend to play well in these conditions, the winds, etc. So for my official lineup and betting card, I'm going with Sam Burns to anchor my lineup this week. He's almost $11,000, $10,900 on DK. He's 12-1 currently to win. I mean, we've called Sam before Bermuda Burns because the guy is so elite putting on Bermuda greens, and he obviously likes these Bermuda greens. In the last 3 years, he finished 6th last year and won the event in back-to-back years before that. His average strokes gained on the green for the event here is 1.7 per tourney. That is a astronomically high number. It's not just, though, his success he's had at this venue is the only reason I have him as my lowest odd bet and also to anchor my DK lineup. He excels on difficult courses because he's 17th in total driving and 9th in bogey avoidance. And the gnarly rough should not be a problem for Burns. He's 18th in proximity total from the rough on approach this season. And again, 70% of approaches are going to come from 175 yards or further. Burns is currently 24th on tour in proximity from those numbers. The next guy is on fire. Yes, sir.
I was going to say there was roughly 300 venomous snake bites in the state of Florida in 2023. That is going to rise.
How many of those happened on the snake pit?
I don't know, but I hate snakes. Like, it's something I'm truly terrified of. Do not like snakes at all.
Now we know what the soon intro music will be for Kate.
That's right.
Second segment.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any snake
Get
songs,
those
but I'm
snakes
sure there
off
is.
my plane, okay?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That would be terrifying for you. But good fact there, Jay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I lost you for a second. The next guy, Nick Taylor, 9,100 on DK. He's 35-1 to win, 7-1 to top 5. This guy has been just having a remarkable year. I think he's kind of still most known for winning the Canadian Open last year and Adam Hadwin getting absolutely creamed in his celebration afterwards. But he won again this year at Phoenix. And what's been most impressive to me is a lot of these guys that are kind of middle-tier players, when they get a win, usually there's a significant fall-off or a hangover for a few weeks. He has not had that issue. 3 straight top 40 finishes with a 12th place finish at Bay Hill and a 26th place finish last week at Sawgrass. Those are both very difficult venues, similar to this one. And again, from a statistical perspective, he fits the model in so many ways for players who have found success here. He's 16th in bogey avoidance, 9th in strokes gained on approach, 11th in strokes gained putting. And my favorite stat on Taylor, and one reason why he has also had some success at this venue, is he's 5th in the field over the last 3 years in proximity on shots around the greens with difficult greenside rough. And again, that difficult rough is very near the greens. Starting last year will be the same this year. No surprise, the first year they implemented those changes, Taylor had his best career finish at this venue, finishing 10th last year. Arguably another really hot guy on tour, Doug Ghim, is the third player in my lineup. He's 8,400, 45-1 to win, 9-1 to top 5, and also like him 4-1 to top 10. He was in my lineup last week because he was criminally underpriced on DraftKings. He continued his great play at Sawgrass, his 5th consecutive top 16th finish on tour, including recreating the Tiger putt, the better than most, with a chip, which was just great television. He even did his own Tiger impersonation of the fist pump. And this week his DraftKings price rose considerably, but it's not high enough for me not to automatically start him. He is playing the best golf of his career. He's currently top 20 on tour in a ton of metrics. Strokes gained approach, he's 13th. Strokes gained tee to green, he's 11th. Strokes gained total, he's 4th. And this course rewards players who excel, again, from 175-plus yards out. Ghim is currently 18th on tour in proximity from 175 to 200 yards into greens. Difficult tournaments typically are won by players who avoid big numbers. Ghim is 11th on tour in bogey avoidance. I know he's probably going to be high-owned in DFS, but this is cash games, right, if you're doing like me. So I don't really care if a player is going to be high-owned if I feel like he's going to have a really good chance to do well here. And I think Ghim, like, he's going to win an event. I feel like this year it's going to happen. The fourth player, and again, this week, I'm basically going, yes, sir.
Hey, I know I said Florida had 300 per year in 2023. How many snake bites per year does North Carolina have? Just take a guess.
It's got to be more.
I'm sorry, it broke up again. I could not hear you. I heard how many snake bites, and then it broke up.
How many in North Carolina?
How many in North Carolina per year?
A lot of mountains. Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes.
400?
856 per year in the state of North Carolina.
No, Jay, my favorite casino, Cherokee.
Yes, beautiful.
In North Carolina.
Beautiful
Don't
golf
be
course
telling
there,
me
too.
this kind of information. Yes, Sequoia National. This is horrible information you're giving me, Jay.
Hey, I got one more fun fact before you finish here. So this one is really ironic, and I was thinking about this because I know copperheads are more known in kind of the southeastern and even the northeastern United States. In Florida, copperheads only occur in the Panhandle and primarily on the western tip and along the Apalachicola River and its tributaries, meaning that this is down there in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area, and they named it the Copperhead course, and they don't even have copperheads there.
Exactly. That's weird.
Nonsense.
That is nonsense.
Continue, Keith.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to call something Copperhead Golf Course when you don't have to worry about getting bit by copperhead. So if somebody's terrified of snakes, I co-sign it.
Fair.
The fourth guy, and again, this week for DFS, I really like the 4 top players. Like, I'm going to have Burns, Taylor, Ghim, and this guy, Maverick Manili, who's 8,100 on DK. in basically all my lineups, and then change up some of the cheaper options, maybe mix and match there. But he's 8,100 on DK, 55-1 to win, 11-1 to top 5, and 5-1 to top 10. Again, I like all of those. He's such a great value. He's finished inside the top 13 in 3 of his last 4 events on tour. He's made the cut in 6 straight. And his last 8 rounds were on difficult courses, PGA National and TPC Sawgrass. He shot 70 or lower in 7 of those 8 rounds. And even more impressive to me, he only made 11 bogeys over those 144 holes of golf, again, on 2 very difficult venues. Again, McNeely, a lot of data metrics to back up why he should be a good player this week. He's 2nd in scrambling, 10th in strokes gained total, 31st in strokes gained off the tee, and 23rd in strokes gained putting. This kid has a bunch of talent, and I expect big things from him this week and moving forward. All right, now we're getting into those lower plays where it's risky. Like it just is, like from 7K under, it's really risky this week. But give me Jimmy Stanger. He is 6,900, 12-1 to top 5, 5-1 to top 10. If you're wondering who the hell Jimmy Stanger is, it's a fair question to ask. The young American is in his first season on tour, and he's making an instant impact. He had a 14th place finish earlier this year at the Amex. That was his 2nd start of the year. He followed that up with 2 straight top 40 finishes. And then actually had, in a secondary event, his most success today at the Puerto Rico Open, finishing 3rd. That was what allowed him to get into the field last week at TPC Sawgrass at the Players. He played well again, finished 35th. I love the fact he is 33rd overall and 14th on par 5s and birdie or better percentage on tour. Again, 5 par 5s this week. That's big. He's also top 25 in bogey avoidance and total putting on tour. That will help him with the more difficult holes. I think if he continues to birdie par 5s and avoid bogeys, which he's done over his 7 events this year, he could be a really good top 10 or top 20 play. And again, you're getting decent odds on him. It's 12-1 to top 5, 5-1 to top 10. Rounding out the play, Matthew Neesmith, he is 6,500.
My boy, North Augusta, South Carolina. Played for the North Augusta High School. Yeah, he was a big-time junior golfer when I worked at Mount Vintage Plantation, and he actually played in that huge junior tournament we had. He's played at the Sage Valley Invitational, and he played at South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Matt Naismith.
How cool,
North
man.
Augusta High School.
So Naismith, again, 6,500. He is plus 360 to top 20, which I think there's some real value in that this week. It was one of the hardest decisions I've had all year, selecting somebody. I believe I have 6,600 left over. I'm going with him just because of his history at this venue. He's had 2 appearances here, both top 25 finishes. He was in the midst to a terrible start in 2024, but then he finished 26 at a tough place like the Players. He played the final 27 holes of that event at 9 under par. And despite his struggles this year, he is still somebody who's top 60 in driving accuracy and green and regulation percentage on the PGA Tour. So I like taking a chance on him because he's a true ball striker. He obviously likes this venue. He played well last week at TPC Sawgrass, another tough course. It's not ideal, but from this price range, I think he's a sneaky good play this week at 6,500 with a lot of upside.
I like it. Put Matt Naismith in there. And Keith, we've ran out of time, but if people want to find out some of your other plays that you may have available and some of your other information, where can they go to find that?
You can literally hit me up on Twitter and say, hey, where can I find the rest of your plays or who else do you like? That is at Keith Fleming, KeithFleming, or you can go to fantasy6pack.net, where my article is actually on the homepage right now in the top right-hand corner.
There you go. Hey, Keith, we appreciate your expertise and time as always. And Jay, we appreciate you bringing the facts about snakes to the key segment today here on the Inside Drive. Keith, I'm sure we'll talk soon. Let me know how that hobby box that comes, or that mega box comes in for you there. We're excited to hear what happens.
You know I will, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Got some good outro music going in. We only got one more segment left today on the Inside Drive, and that means one thing, Jay. It is pick'em time, and I've got lots of picks for us to get through.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
You know the statue they put up of Kobe Bryant? Turns out there are several errors in the statue. Boy, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one to get wrong. Like, of all of the things, like what went wrong today? We misspelled a few things on the statue. Like, I'm just thinking of like other legendary, like Michelangelo's statue of David. What? I gave him 6 toes. Oh, damn it.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Me and my I Do crew have 50 years experience, and we have more certified diamonds in stock at the best prices in town. So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, come see me, your diamond girl, and my I Do crew at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, because we don't work on commissions. We work for smiles and I Do's.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full service cabinets, countertops, and flooring. Cash and carry cabinets available the next day. Kitchen Designs has been family owned and operated for over 20 years. Ask for your free cutting board with any purchase through March 10th. Call Kitchen Designs 850-775-4150 or stop by their showroom 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no Jay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Everything about the Copperhead course down there in Innisbrook screams 1980s. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Our final segment on this Wednesday, and in turn, our final segment this week, as we will have lots of great NCAA tournament coverage going on right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, starting tonight with the first 4 in games. Afternoon Underdogs will end a little bit early at 5:30 with coverage immediately picking up with the 2 16 seeds going at that. That's Montana State and Grambling. That'll be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, followed by the Boise State Colorado game. And then, of course, tomorrow it all gets underway. I believe it right about 11-ish, 11:15 here in the Central Time Zone. And then you can pretty much just watch basketball for the next, 48 hours, pretty much nonstop. Obviously, on the weekends, not quite as many games, but still a lot of good action to go there. That is for sure. And with that being said, make sure you don't miss out on your opportunity to join the free ESPN Big Bracket Challenge. You just go to our website, espnpc.com. You click on the Big Bracket Challenge. You'll see that up in the top bar there. Once you click on that, you click on the big banner. It's sponsored by Pepsi, Panama City Toyota, PCB Hobby, as well as ESPN Northwest Florida for your opportunity to win some cool cash and prizes and compete with other listeners right here in the Florida Panhandle. Again, that's at our website, espnpc.com. Click on the Big Bracket Challenge, and you probably can figure it out from there. If Jay figured it out from there, you can certainly figure it out from there. So you got that going. All right, Jay, we have no more shows this week. That means we got to get a pick'em in, and I'm trying to add some extra pick'em stuff in there just to make it a little more interesting and give you and myself an opportunity to catch David Hayes, who keeps continuing to build this lead at 163 points. I'm down by 11 at 152, and you're hanging around there, 127 points, but hopefully an opportunity. So I'm going to start with this, and the order will be you, David, and myself. The first one is just the Sweet 16. Whoever picks the most teams correctly, and you can pick the same, will get 2 points. And this is going to be how many total number 1 seeds will make it to the Sweet 16. You get to go first.
Okay.
There's 4.
There's 4.
Total
Okay.
of each one of these.
Thank you for that.
Don't say 6 or 8 or anything like that. I try not to be a middle of the road kind of person, so I'm not going to go with 2. Do you remember what statistics said?
Statistics said
of how many number 1 seeds make it to the Sweet 16?
Like, is it 1? I can't remember.
No, it's the opposite of that.
Is it like 4?
3 more often than not.
Okay, I'm going with 1.
Whoa.
Yep.
So you're okay. So all right, 1 it is. What team is that? We're not gonna have enough time for this.
Duke. Let's go Duke.
Duke is not a number 1 seed.
Oh.
All right.
Who's number 1?
Oh, my God. UConn,
Houston winning the whole thing,
North
right?
Carolina, and Purdue. So those 4 1 seeds, how many of those are making it? Just 1?
Just Purdue.
But you picked Houston to win.
Oh.
That doesn't mean you have to change it.
Well.
But, so.
All right, Houston's 1, right?
Yes, Houston is a 1.
Let's go Houston.
So just 1.
Yep.
You don't have to pick that team. You just have to tell me how many out of 4
All right,
will
just
make
1.
it. All right, just 1. All right, David.
Yep.
Pick us up.
I'm going all 4. Reach the Sweet 16. All 4 of them reach the Sweet 16.
All right, I'm going to take the statistical and say 3 in that one because I think it's like 3.2 or something.
Who's the odd man out?
Ooh, I'm going to say Purdue.
Okay,
I'm going to say Purdue. Just, I was thinking if you went with 3, I was going to go with 4. But 1 apparently is, we don't have to worry about you in that one. All right, same scenario, Jay, except it's the number 2 seeds now.
Okay.
There's 4 of them. They are, so just to make it easier for you, Marquette, Tennessee, Arizona, and Iowa State. How many of those 4 teams are making it to the Sweet 16? It's David's turn to go first.
I'm going all 4 again with the 2 seeds.
There you go, all 4. All right, going to me. I'm going to go with 3 again.
You know, let's keep it going. I'm going to go with 1.
Man, so by the time the Sweet 16 rolls around, we have eliminated 3 number 1 seeds and 3 number 2 seeds.
Yep.
I like it. Hey, you don't get what is it? If you're not bold, Cotton,
that's
it's not going to pay off.
No reward.
There's no doubt.
Hey, Caveman went with all the underdogs on those dollar bets. I'm going with Caveman Rick
as an experiment. Yes,
as an experiment.
He did. Yeah. All right. Hey, we're eliminating. That means come Sweet 16, it's just going to be pure chaos. We got 2 top seeds left: 1 number 1 seed and 1 number 2 seed.
Hey,
all right. I like it. Stay consistent. Look, we're all going to be eating our words when all these number 1 and 2 seeds get eliminated in the first and second round. It's going to be wild, that's for sure. All right, same thing with the number 3 seeds.
Okay.
This one does start with me. I'm going to say that there is 2 number 3 seeds that make it to the Sweet 16. Top of the order to you. There's only 4. Do you want to know who they are? Or do you care?
Yeah, I would love to know who they are.
Okay, there you go. Then make me find them. You got Kentucky, Creighton, Baylor, and Illinois.
You know what? All those 4 are ringing really good to me. I'm going all 4.
I am not surprised you went with that decision. David, what do you got?
I've got 3 of them, Creighton being the odd man out.
There you go. I like it.
All right.
Hey, there you go. They good. Man, that was good. That exercise went exactly how I wanted it to. Yeah. All right, now we got to pick regular games, and the majority of our picks this week are naturally going to be NCAA matchups, and they're either 8 and 9 matchups or matchups where the spread is within 2.5 points. Okay. So the first one we're going to pick, Jay, we'll start with you because this is a separate picking order. There is going to be the Michigan State, Mississippi State. Michigan State is the higher. For this exercise, when I say higher, that means the higher number. Okay. Michigan State is the higher seed at number 9 over against Mississippi, but Mississippi State is actually the underdog at plus 100 or plus 1.5 points there. Who are you going with, Michigan State or Mississippi State?
You said Mississippi State is the underdog?
Mississippi State is the underdog.
Oh, okay.
Very slight underdog in this matchup, according to Vegas.
Let's go. I'm a big fan of Bulldogs. Let's go with Bulldogs.
All right, so you're taking Mississippi State. David, who do you got in this one?
For Sparta, Tom Izzo.
Ooh, Tom Izzo, Michigan State. I'm going to go with the Mississippi State in this one as well. I think this is Mississippi's chance to make a little bit of a run in the tournament. Had a decent run in the SEC championship. All right, next one I got to go a little bit quicker. We've got FAU and Northwestern going against each other. David, you'll have the first pick on that one.
Give me the Owls.
He's going with the Owls. Florida Atlantic is a 2.5 point favorite in that one. They're minus 150, and David Hayes is going with FAU. The question is, are they going to be the Cinderella that they were last year, or are they not? I'm going to go with Jay's favorite team from up there in Chicago, and that is Northwestern. All right, Jay, who you got?
I've said Northwestern on the show first, and I'll say it again. Let's go Northwestern.
You might as well keep consistent. Yep. That is for sure. All right, 2 Northwesterns and an FAU. Next one on the docket is Texas A&M versus Nebraska. That might be the next day, so I don't know if Hard Rock's got that one up and running yet or not. That might be the Friday game. Oh, no, they do. Okay, cool. What it guys say? Texas A&M at Nebraska. That is an 8 and 9 seed matchup. If I can find, okay, you got Nebraska is a basket and a half favorite in that one over Texas A&M, and I think it is my turn to pick that one. I'm actually going to take the favorite in that one. Nebraska out of the Big Ten. I wasn't impressed with how Texas A&M played in that the tournament there, but again, the tournament really doesn't. And what I'm referring to the conference tournament, but I'm going to take Nebraska in that one out of the Big 12, the Cornhuskers. Back to you.
The six man exists in Texas A&M. I'm going Texas A&M.
There you go. David Hayes, who do you got in this one?
I'm going with the Aggies. I don't know what noise to make there. I guess boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. All right. Next on the docket is TCU and Utah State. Back to you, Jay. Let me find the odds on this one if I can scroll faster. I think that's a Friday game if I'm not mistaken.
So Utah State
and TCU.
Let's keep it in there.
I got it for you. TCU is a 4.5 point favorite as far as baskets are concerned, minus 190. Utah State is the underdog at the 8 seed at plus 155.
Let's keep it in the great state of Texas, that independent Texas State. Let's go TCU.
That independent Texas State over there. TCU. All right. The Horned Frogs. What do you got, David?
Utah State, they're the Aggies as well, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, so Utah State.
There you go.
Pair of Aggies moving on.
I'm going to go with TCU as well. The Horned Frog is in that one. All right, next on the docket, Jay, I think it's this 11 and a 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken, or 11 and a 6 seed. 11 and a 6 seed, and that is Oregon versus South Carolina. Let me find that one real quick on the betting sheet there. Oregon and South Carolina. All right, I found it. Oregon is a 1.5 point underdog when it comes to baskets. Very close matchup as the Pac-12 champion out of the tournament, the number 11 seed playing the South Carolina Gamecocks at the number 6 seed. South Carolina kind of stumbled a little bit going through the end of the regular season in the tournament, but they are favored very slightly in this one. David Hayes, Ducks or Cocks? Who you going with?
My bracket says that I'm going with South Carolina in this one, but I think Oregon's going to give them a good run for their money, and I might be wrong in this one, but I'll take the Gamecocks.
I already wrote down Oregon. All right, so he's going with USC with that. I am going to take Oregon. I think they're going to continue the little bit of run they had. Not expected to win the Pac-12 championship. They were the 4th seed going into that tournament. I just think they're playing more momentum basketball than USC is right now, so I'm going to go with the Ducks. Who you flying with, Jay?
I'll go with Gamecocks.
Going with the Chickens.
Yep.
There you go. USC. Both birds can fly, and
that's right.
Ducks fly together.
Yes, sir.
Mighty Ducks reference there for you. All right, next we've got the team that just won one of the play-in games yesterday versus those Texas Longhorns, and that's what's crazy. Colorado State putting the hurt on Virginia, just dominating one. They are only a 2.5 point underdog against the number 7 seed Texas. Texas is minus 150. Colorado State plus 125. It is my turn to pick in that one. I'm actually going to take Colorado State in this one. I think they're going to knock off Texas early on in that one. Jay, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Colorado State on that one.
I like it. All right, David Hayes.
I'll take the Longhorns of Texas.
There you go. Hook 'em horns. I should have just put CSU. That would have been quicker. All right, Texas, not A&M. All right, last one of the first round for our pick'em purposes, and that's going to be the Clemson Tigers versus the New Mexico Lobos.
Ooh.
Back to you.
Oh, let me go New Mexico.
Go with next. I like it. Clemson, fresh off their lawsuit, doing the same thing that Florida State is, saying if they leave the conference, they don't want to pay the exit fee. Will that impact basketball? I highly doubt it, but you are going with the New Mexico, the Lobos.
I got the Lobos as well.
I'm going to go with the clean sweep in that one. I like New Mexico in this one to win that game. I didn't pull up the odds on that one, but I'm going to take New Mexico as well. It's not NW, it's NM. All right, now, since the tournament hasn't started, we've got a golf pick to slide in there from the Valspar, and David Hayes will have the top of the order pick. I'll just read you some odds really fast. Xander is plus 700, Sam Burns plus 1,200, JT 1,400, Jordan Spieth 1,600, Brian Harmon plus 2,000. I'll do 2 more. Sanjay M. and Tony Finau both at plus 2,200. Who you like?
Scotty Scheffler's taking a break.
He is not playing in this tournament, as a lot of people.
Might as well just take him anyways. No, he'll come out of nowhere.
Right.
Final round. Can we go around real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take. I would like to take Xander, but I'm going to go with Keith. I'm going to take Sam Burns in this one.
Okay.
Who you got? Even though Xander is the odds-on favorite.
I haven't heard Tony Finau's name in quite some time, and maybe this week is his week.
He typically plays good down there.
Yeah, so I'll take lanky Tony Finau.
Tony Finau. There you go. All right, David Hayes, it's like a lunch order. You say, you guys go first, then it comes back to you.
Right. Give me JT.
JT, I like it. Justin Thomas trying to get a win, the first win on the PGA Tour since that PGA Championship, trying to get back in the saddle. All right, we got our normal steady NASCAR picks. That's Elliott, Hamlin, and Logano. And then, of course, we need our wild card pick, but a little different NASCAR race this week. Is it a road race, Jay?
That's what it looks like.
It is.
68 laps.
The Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Grand Prix and NASCAR. That sounds like oxymorons to me, but that is what
That's
it is.
fair. That's fair. All right, you got somebody in mind?
I really don't. Let's go. Chase. Is Chase Briscoe racing this weekend?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, let's go Chase Briscoe. That is way out of left
He
field.
is. He's plus 6,000 to win, so not too bad.
Okay.
Chase Briscoe. Let me put that name in there before I forget. Chase Briscoe. All right, David, who you got?
I'm going to go with Kyle Busch in this one.
Kyle Busch in this one. I'm going to go with Jay's favorite race car driver, and that is, NASCAR driver. That is going to be Shane Van Gisbergen.
That's a great pick for this track.
He's a road racer.
Oh,
do some research.
Yeah, I
knew
know
we were going to do this.
Yeah.
No, he's got third best odds right now on DraftKings, behind Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott. But we can't pick Chase Elliott because you already have Chase Elliott.
That's right.
So smart to take an outlier there because you've got a favorite already in your pick.
You got to have a good brake package, obviously, over in Austin.
Rubbers are key.
Rubbers are key, and the wheel's actually going to turn right this week for the first time.
First time this season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool.
And with that being said, our time has come to an end. We appreciate you listening. We will not be on the air tomorrow and Friday, as we'll have first round and second round coverage of the NCAA March Madness tournament going on. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. Last chance to get into the ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge. We'll talk to y'all next week.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. We're finding that quarterbacks and what they do off the field may be as valuable as what they do on the field. Patrick Mahomes is following that blueprint. He decided that he was going to free up over $20 million in cap space this offseason. Mahomes is competing with Tom Brady, and now you want to see if you can get to 7 Super Bowls.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, sunshine and 67. Clear skies tonight, slightly colder at 55. Tomorrow, partly sunny and a light breeze right around 6 miles per hour with a high of 73. About the same at 70 Friday, and we'll have mostly clouds in the early morning and then very heavy rain. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.